Why liberals hate guns? A better question is, why do liberals hate guns being in the hands of law-abiding citizens? Guns are one of the most iconic images of freedom-loving people. The Wild West has had a lasting impact on the American psyche because the man with the gun and horse represents ultimate freedom for many Americans. Cars have replaced the horse in the minds of modern Americans, but cultural icons like the gangster, robber barons, and all modern influencers are linked with guns and cars. It is very difficult to symbolize what freedom means to us, but images of guns and cars are about as close as we are likely to get. Guns and cars are the great cultural equalizers. If one has a gun and car, one is about as free as anyone else. Liberals have always been strong on freedom, but never strongly in favor of guns. Even their relationship with the automobile is mixed. The strained relationship liberals have with guns holds good for many other things liberals ought to be in favor of, but which they have difficulty with. Free speech, low tax rates, and as of late, bodily freedom, the right to protect one's health and body against the insertion of foreign substances, are all freedoms not embraced by liberals. Neoliberalism appears to focus on the right to abort a fetus and engage in unfettered sex more than any other right. Other freedoms are negative, meaning they require state supervision and regulation if not the intervention of mob violence. But why do liberals fear guns when guns for most people imply freedom? More specifically, why do liberals fear guns that are in the hands of law-abiding citizens? To understand why a hunter with a shotgun seems more dangerous to a liberal than a criminal with a pistol requires the difference between liberals and conservatives be understood. Liberals are socialists politically. Liberals are community-minded. Liberals think in terms of the rights of society in opposition to individual rights. Faced with a conflict between the rights of the group and the rights of the individual, liberals will side with the needs of the community. Conservatives are individualists. Rights, for a conservative, are attached to the individual, not the group. Guns are very much tied to individual rights. A liberal probably sees guns in the hands of individuals as a threat to the rights of the community. To control individuals requires the existence of a central authority. The amount of power given to this central authority varies to the extent individuals are required to conform. A military group is highly structured. Virtually all authority in the military is centralized. Political parties are centralized, but only so far as the policies of the party are concerned. Governments are centralized according to the laws it has enacted. The more laws the government puts in place, the more power the government needs to enforce them. The more laws and the more regulatory power the state has, the resistance the government will likely face. The more laws there are, the more administrative power the state will need. It is in the interests of government to reduce the possibility of pushback and its effectiveness by creating a strong central presence. A key component of centralizing power is to increase the power disparity between the state and its subjects. Guns are a great equalizer. Liberals hate guns because they support strong central governments. Liberals are more complacent about guns in the hands of criminals because a gun in the hand of a criminal poses a smaller threat to oppressive governments than they do when held by a potentially rebellious population. Criminals are unlikely to pay taxes, but they are also less likely to engage in tax revolts. Criminals may not even bother to vote. Criminals are less worried about what laws are being enacted than are law-abiding citizens. Criminals do not abide by them anyway. Restrictive gun laws do not impact criminals as much as they do law-abiding citizens. Citizens may rise up for many reasons. A rebellious citizen is more problematical than drug lords battling over turf. Tax revolts cause more chaos, uncertainty, and costs for the state than turf wars. Crime, as troublesome as it is, increases the need for the state and bureaucracy. Rebellion by the people may create a need for more policing, but overt policing may have been the cause of the rebellion. More policing will only make the problem worse. The state is dependent on the goodwill of the average property-owning citizen. It does not care about the politics of criminals. Liberals hate guns, but mostly when in the hands of citizens. The citizen with a gun is less dependent on the state. Too many citizens with too many guns represents a countervailing force to big government. If there was a way to fix guns so they could not be pointed in the direction of bureaucrats, the liberal antipathy towards guns might end. But, when the fear of the people is absent from the state, the need for guns in the hands of citizens increases. Ultimately, the citizen with a gun is a citizen with democracy.